Hi guys, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. In this video, I am going to discuss about software testing interview questions for experienced candidates, which is 4+ years of experienced candidates. The company called as SLK Software. Okay, so please watch this video till the end, and also please drop a like for this video, and also please share this video to your friends or colleagues so that they will also understand the questions which are asked by the different companies, and also your share will help us this video to recommend for more people from YouTube point of view. Okay, let's get started. Here the first question is, it is a common question for each and every candidate during their interview, that is, can you brief me about yourself or explain about yourself along with your roles and responsibilities. Okay, can you brief me about yourself? So here you can start with your name, and then about your education, and then about your software testing experience, and then about your experience on different domains if you work with multiple domains like insurance domain or e-commerce, ERP, or a security domain. So likewise you can explain. After that, based upon your experience, if you worked with multiple frameworks, you can also explain the same. I mean, I have this many years of experience on different frameworks like hybrid framework, cucumber framework, so and so. Okay, after that you can come to your current project and explain there, and also explain about your experience on different tools like Selenium, how many years of experience you have, and TestNG, how many years of experience, and also extend reports, how many years of experience you had, and your current project framework, how many years of experience you have, and then what are the different tools like handling the .xlsx file, Apache Py, how many years of experience, and Maven project, how many years of experience do you have. After that, if you are using page object model, how many years do you have in that particular design pattern along with data driven framework. After that, generating the reports, how many years of experience, and executing the failed test case, how many years of experience. And also different types of testings you can have like regression testing, functional testing, and also smoke testing, sanity testing. So likewise you can conduct different types of testings as a set as a tester. And also how many years of experience on working with Agile methodology, you can explain the same. And also, like, there are different things you have to explain if you are attending as an experienced candidate. So once this question got completed, so he will explain you about the current project. Tell me about your current project. So you can explain him theoretically initially, so after that you can convert them into automation point of view also. So I have implemented these many reusable methods, I have executed these many jobs from the Jenkins. Okay, so likewise you can explain about your current project, and also he will ask you about the project folder structure also. Currently whatever the project you are working, right, so on which framework you are using, so based upon that only you are going to explain like framework folder structure, like how you are storing your test data, so where exactly you are storing the test data. After that, how you are executing your test cases, and also how you are building your test cases. So this and all you have to explain if he asked about current project. And also for assertions, what you are using, if there are any failures, how you are taking the screenshot, and how you are involving with your teammates, and have you worked with have you worked on creation of test plan or not. So these and all you have to explain about your current project question. So after that, the next question here is, what is an iframe? Okay, what is an iframe and how to handle the iframes. So how we can tell it as a iframe means a window within a window, that is called as iframe. Okay, so what exactly the iframe means, window within a window, that is called as an iframe. And this iframe tag name will always starts with the iframe. If any web element is containing that iframe tag means, so definitely we can consider it as a iframe. So window within a window, it is called as an iframe. And if I want to make Selenium to identify the web elements present inside the frame means, we have to switch our driver focus to the frame. And also there are different methods if I want to automate, or if Selenium wants to make identify the web elements present in the window means, we have different methods like switch to frame, like driver dot switch to. First we need to switch our driver focus to the respective frame using of different methods, that are those are frame by index we can define, and also frame name we can define, and also frame element. So these are the different methods where we can use it on the iframes to automate. So we can explain in the same way. And also if I want to switch between the two frames also, we can have driver dot switch to dot parent frame, and also there is a default content method is also there. So by using of all these methods we can automate the iframes. We can explain in a clear way. And after that, what is the next question here? Difference between the find element and find elements. So what is the difference between the find element and find elements? So here Selenium WebDriver provided find element and find elements to recognize the element to perform some action. Correct. So using of find element and find elements only, we are going to identify a web element. So these two methods are provided by the Selenium. So then only we are going to perform some actions like clicking on any web element, as well as sending some keys to that particular web element. And also if I want to automate the drop down, if I want to automate the windows, if I want to automate the alerts, so these and all we can identify with the help of find element and find elements. And you have to explain what exactly the return type of the find element and what is the return type of find elements. So find elements means list of web elements. And also in find element, if we are using find element means it will always identify the first web element. For example, there are more than 5 web elements is having the same properties in terms of xpaths or name, class or css. So during that time, if we are using find element means it will always identifying the first web element, not in the second or third or fourth or fifth the same properties. Even though if it is having same properties means it will always click or send keys mean on the same web element only, that is first web element. You can explain, you can have to tell about this one also. Okay, after that, write a Java program to print only software from the given string. So consider it is the string provided by the interviewer, so he want to print only software from the given string. So how we can do means we can use here substrings concept, and then we can take based upon the index length and what is the starting and ending value using of substring, and then we can print it with the help of sysO statement. Correct. So after that, write some piece of code for the below scenarios by using any programming language. So here we can use any programming language. If you are using Python means you can use the same language here. If you are using C# means you can use the same language here. If you are using Java means you can use the same language here. If you are using Perl, you can use the same Perl language to automate the below scenario. So here, once user clicked on a button, a pop-up is displayed. Verify that alert is displayed in a window. Okay, for example, as a end user, if I click on any button on a given website, so automatically I'm getting one pop-up. So I need to verify that that pop-up is displayed or not in a window. After that, so how we can verify means, so we can verify with the help of is displayed method. So is displayed method return type is here boolean, whether it is true. If it is displayed means it is false if it is not displayed. Okay, and also I have to verify the content present in the alert is correct or not. Okay, so what I will do here, I will take some expected text into one given string, and I will retrieve the text from the given alert, that is our actual. So after that I will use here assert true, so that we can compare with the expected and actual text. Correct. So our expected text will be stored into any txt file or xlsx file or word file, or in the same class also using of string. So after that I am going to compare the actual text with the expected text. Correct. Actual text with the expected text. How we can compare? With the help of assert true method, or you can create one reusable method in a generic way. So you can use the same method throughout your framework if you are going to comparing between the two strings. Okay, after that, once user clicked on the submit button on the alert, verify that alert is closed and page is navigated to the another URL. Okay, so what I will suggest here is, so once the user will click on the submit button, so on the alert, so after that, that alert is going to be closed. Once that is done, this page is navigated to some different URL, so we need to verify that URL also. So for that, you can consider the titles of these two windows. Like for example, in the current window, before clicking on submit button, what is the title? After clicking on submit button, where it is navigating. So for that particular URL, I am going to capture the title, and I will compare these two. Okay, and that after that, next one is on the new URL. verify that user can able to see the different types of elements using of CSS selectors. So once user clicked on the submit button, it is navigated to the second URL, right? So there will be some web elements in a web page, so I have to inspect all those with the help of CSS selectors like ID, name, class. We can have in the same how we have in XPath. After that, how we can handle the drop downs in Selenium. So here select class is used to define the drop downs, and the options tag is used to define the option present inside the drop down. So if any web element, if it is containing the tag name called as select means, so then definitely we can call it as a drop down only. Okay, that is why developers will use to define a drop down using of select class. So after identifying the drop down using of select class means a drop down will contain some list of options, right? So to identify all those options present inside the drop down, we can use one more a tag name called as options tag name. With the help of that, we can capture each and every option present inside the drop down, and then we can use some for loops. After that, we have some predefined methods to handle a drop down, like select by index value, select by visible text, and select by value. So these are the three different methods to identify or to automate the given drop down using in Selenium. So after that, write a program to print duplicate characters in the given string and print how many times the same character is present in the given string. For example, here example Selenium tech automation. So this is my given string. Okay, this string is provided by the interviewer. He asked me to write a program. So how we can write? So you can check in any website. Okay, so here what exactly he wants is, for example, here e e. Okay, so he wants to know how many times the same character. See here, this particular character, that is e, how many times it got present in the given string. So he wants the same, and also I, how many times it got repeated, and O, how many times it got repeated, M, how many times it got repeated, which means duplicate characters in the given string. And he want to print how many times. For example, he want like M, how many times repeated here, we need to print the same count here. For example, Selenium take automation, which means 2 times it got present in the given string. And also E, this how many times present, e 3 times it present, like duplicate characters. Okay, after that I present 2 times in the given string, correct, and t, how many times present in the given string, 2. So likewise, so duplicate characters present in the given string, and also he wants to print in the console. So we can write a program for that. And difference between end-to-end testing and exploratory testing. So this is also one important question for every tester. Okay, this is also one important question for every tester. So here end-to-end testing means testing the overall functionality of the system, including data integration among all the modules, that is called as end-to-end testing. Okay, this is also one important question for each and every candidate before going for their interview or during their interview. So what exactly end-to-end testing means? Testing the overall functionality of the system, including data integration among all the modules, that is called as end-to-end testing. For example, there is an application like e-commerce or ERP project like Flipkart or Amazon application is there. So from login till ordering the item from the cart, so that we can call it as a end-to-end testing. So here what we are doing, integrating each and every module. After login, we will get home page. After that, we are going to select a product. After that, it will navigate to product description page. After that, we are going to place that order based upon the quantity, how much you want. After that, we are storing into some cart, or you can buy it now only. After that, we can go to that particular cart, and then we are going to buy now. I mean, I'm going to order that particular item where I store it into my cart. So this we can consider it as a end-to-end testing. Means these are the different modules where we are integrating each other and we are testing, so that we can call it as a end-to-end testing. So here end-to-end testing carried out by the senior testers who have complete knowledge on the product, correct. So this end-to-end testing will be carried by senior testers who had the complete knowledge about the given application or web application, that is called as end-to-end testing. and also what exactly the exploratory testing. So here in simple words, how I can suggest is exploring the application, understanding its functionalities, then testing it. That is called as exploratory testing. So here exploring the application and understanding its functionalities, then I am going to perform the testing on it. That is called as exploratory testing. Correct. If we don't have proper documentation, then only this exploratory testing will comes into picture. So first we need to explore the application, and then I am going to understand the application functionalities. After that only I am performing the testing on the given application or given module. So here when we don't have any proper documentation to be followed, so during that time we can go for the exploratory testing. Okay, that is the difference between end-to-end testing. But in end-to-end testing, only senior testers will involve mostly, because they will know the knowledge, like once the project got started, right? So from that time, if there is any tester who is working from that time means, so they will only carry it to conduct this end-to-end testing. But as a recently joined, I mean as a new joiner in that particular team, so I can also perform based upon my experience. Like for example, if I joined 2 years before means, I can test that application from that module only. But compared to the new joiner, the senior tester who had the complete knowledge from end to end, he can perform the end to end testing in simple words. After that, what is object repository and its uses? So here I can say object repository means, I can say we can consider it as a txt file also, where we can capture our application details, like in the form of properties files, right? We are storing what is our application.url equals to https www.google.com, and what is our username, application.username equals to username, application.password equals to password. And if there are any db credentials also we can define, like it is a kind of properties file. And also we can say it like a storing our exports also. For example, if I am not following page object model, so I need to store these exports in somewhere, right? So if I maintain all this in a single class means, so again it will be some complex, and also the lines of code will be increased, correct? So during that time what I need to do is, I need to store all these exports into one txt file. Then I can read with the help of properties concept here, like reading the properties file. Based upon the key I will retrieve the value. So if we do in that way, for example, if you got some new build on tomorrow, so you no need to disturb all your code where you written all these exports, but you can directly go to this particular object repository, and then you can update the latest exports in that particular file. So then it will be save our time, and also we are not going to disturb any code level changes. So we can call it in that way. Like what is object repository means? Object repository means where we can store our application details in the form of properties file, or application uh, exports or web elements in the form of exports or css name. So we can store all this in. If we have any new build on tomorrow, so we can directly go and change the web element exports or css or name class. Those details we can change directly on the given properties file only. So that's why we are calling it as a object repository. And then we had one more question here, how to handle the multiple windows here. So how to handle multiple windows? So here also we can have two methods which are provided by the Selenium, so such as get window handle and get window handles. So what exactly this get window handle and get window handles will do here? Okay, so here get window handle means it will returns the current browser window id. For example, if there is only one window which is opened in current session, so it will get only that particular open window id only. But if I want to check handle or automate multiple windows means, so I need to use here get window handles method, because it will return, okay, because it will return set of strings in the terms of window IDs. Correct. So here get window handle means it will return only the given window ID and its return type is string. Whereas if you go to the get window handles means it will return the currently opened windows in the current session in the form of set of strings. The type here is set of strings is for get window handles, and string is for get window handle. After that, based upon the object type of array, we can iterate based upon the index values also. And if I want to automate these multiple windows scenario, means first I need to switch my driver focus to the windows. Correct. After that, what is tail element exception and how we can overcome that? So tail element exception means, consider there are I am executing my test case almost 3 to 4 times. So out of 4 times, 3 times it got failed and 1 time it got passed. Because of how why it got failed on 3 times means, that web element what I'm going to perform some action on it, so that element is not present inside my DOM structure. So during that time we will get this tail element exception. To overcome this exception, we can use JavaScript executor here. And also, how to overcome sync issues. As we know already, if I want to automate, if I want to overcome these sync issues, Selenium is providing different wait commands such as uh, implicitly wait, explicitly wait, and fluent wait. And also, if these three are not working correctly, means we can go with the thread.sleep also. There won't be any issue if we are using thread.sleep. If we had any issue, then what is the use of using it thread.sleep there? No, that is wrong. Even during our interviews also, you will get the same question from the interviewer. So instead of using all these wait commands, why we are using thread.sleep? So you can tell him that we can use these three different wait commands which are offered by the Selenium, but these three are not working correctly as per my requirements. So I decided to use thread.sleep. So how come it is not meeting our requirements? Means, for example, I want to click on a particular web element, but there my application speed and Selenium execution speed is not matching. So during that time, I have used these three commands, these three wait conditions, even though it is failing. Maybe that is an issue from the Selenium stakeholders, not from our side, right? As Selenium is a free open source tool and also free, so there won't be any point of contact to ask why it is getting failed, even if I am using these three wait commands here. So that is the reason why we can use the dot sleep also here. And the next question here is defect life cycle. So after finding the defect, so what are the next steps you are taking? You can explain the same details in the form of defect life cycle, so that we can call it as a defect life cycle. And what is assert and what is verify? So here assert means, consider there are 10 lines of code. Out of 10 lines, that 8th line of code is getting filled. So if I used assert, okay, if I used assert there, so my 8th line is getting failed, it will stop and terminate the execution if I am using assert. Whereas if we are using verify, means it is not going to terminate if there are any failures. It will continue with the remaining lines of code also, when if we are using verify. But if we are using assert, means if it is failing on line number 8, it is not going to continue with the remaining lines of code. It will come outside of that particular execution. And also we have different methods if I want to validate, that is assert true, assert false, and also assert equals is there. Okay. And here how we can execute scripts on different browsers using of testing.xml file. So we need to parameterize based upon the browser what we are taking, so accordingly our scripts are going to be run. We need to configure in that way. Okay, do some parameterization on testing.xml file itself. And what is depends on methods? So you can also check about this question, because login page and then home page is depends on the login page. If I make it as depends on methods equals to false, definitely my home page is going to be failed. We are telling that there is no interlink between login and home page, but there is a interlink between login and home page. How come I will come directly to the home page instead of login? No, correct, right? So because of that, we can use here depends on methods. So you can check about this concept also, depends on methods. And what is agile methodology, who and all involved in this methodology? So agile methodology is suitable for the bigger projects. Consider there is a banking application, that is HDFC bank application is there, so we can follow the agile methodology here. Mostly where there is no clear requirements, so during that time we can use the agile methodology. and who and all are involved in this methodology. Before that, we can test an application by dividing that into small chunks. So these small chunks we can integrate together, and then we are going to perform the testing, and we are giving that product to the client. If there are any pending, means again he will come with some new requirements, and we can add the same functionality to the already tested module. So that is why we can call it as a agile methodology, means where there is no clear requirements. That is why we are following this agile methodology. And also this agile methodology is suitable only for bigger projects. And who and all involved in this methodology means product owner will be involved, scrum master will be involved, business analyst will be involved, business architect will be involved, business architect will be involved, and testing team will be involved, test manager will be there, project manager will be there, dev lead will be there, dev team will be there, and also scrum master will be there, and there are some stakeholders also present inside this agile methodology. I have already made one dedicated video about what exactly the agile methodology. Please check out that video as well. And what is a feature file, and also what does this feature file contain in Cucumber framework. So we can explain in detail about what exactly that feature file will contain. We have to explain that points also here. So what is a feature means, for example, there is a feature called as user can able to log into the Facebook application, so that we can call it as a one feature. So how we can uh, tell that it is a feature file. So and what exactly it is containing, a feature file will contain some gherkin keywords where we can use to define a scenario using of these keywords. Okay, you can define about all these different keywords, and then we can make it as a single feature file. So the extension of feature file is dot feature file, correct? The extension of feature file here is dot feature, so we can call it as a feature files, correct? And then here in a single feature file we can have multiple scenarios also, correct? In a single feature file we can have multiple scenarios also, correct? In a single feature file we can have multiple scenarios also. After that, what exactly that cucumber dot options annotation here. Okay, so here we have multiple gherkin keywords such as given, we have when, we have then, we have and. These are the different gherkin keywords where we can have inside our Cucumber framework. Using of these gherkin keywords we are going to build a feature file. So consider there is an example, that is the requirement here is testing smoke scenarios for Facebook, so we can take it as a feature. Okay, there is a requirement called as I am going to test some scenarios for Facebook, smoke scenarios for Facebook, so that we can call it as a feature. So after that I am going to define the scenario. So what I am going to test, so we need to define, so test Facebook with the valid credentials, that is my scenario. After that I am going to use my given, when, then, and. These are the different gherkin keywords. Using of those keywords I am going to test the particular scenario and defining the same inside my feature file. So a feature file will contain gherkin keywords, a feature file will contain the scenario, a feature file will contain the feature, what exactly we are going to test. Okay, and then what is a Cucumber dot options annotation in Cucumber framework, you can check for this answer also, and how we can execute the data driven test cases in Cucumber framework. Okay, how to execute the data driven test cases in Cucumber framework. For example, there is an application which needs to be tested with multiple inputs or multiple users. So during that time we can go for the examples keyword as well as scenario outline and also pipeline operator. Okay, and also pipeline operator. For example, there is a scenario outline called as my application testing. So here I need to define my username and password, and also I need to define multiple usernames and password, correct? So during that time we can use this uh, pipeline operator, and we can make this inside a scenario outline. Okay, so in the feature file we can add like scenario outline, test login with multiple credentials. After that I'm going to provide the gherkin keywords, and then I'm using here examples keyword. After that username and password using of pipeline operator. Okay, so you can clearly gone through these concepts if I'm talking about Cucumber. because I am telling orally here like what is what. So how to execute data driven test cases, and what exactly the hooks in Cucumber framework, and how to define a test class path in a Cucumber framework. So we can define using of glue keyword. Okay, you can check about this also, how to define a test case class path in a Cucumber framework. Okay, so we can use here a glue keyword, and then we are going to mention that step definition class file path in our test runner class, actual class. And then can we overload a constructor? Okay, so can we overload a constructor can be overloaded. Before that, you can tell him that what are the rules of creating a constructor. So constructor name must be same as the class name, and constructor don't have any return type like void or int or string, etc. And also, suppose if I don't provide explicitly the default, okay, the compiler will give me the default constructor. Okay, default constructor, every class will contain a default constructor. Even though if I don't provide also, we can have that default constructor. And also we can have parameterized constructor and non-parameterized constructor also. And also we can have named approach and nameless approach also if I want to create a constructor. Okay, to create an object in the constructors, we can have two different ways, like that is named approach and nameless approach. After that, we can have some more rules. Yes, we can override a constructor. The answer is after that you can explain about what exactly the constructor and what are the different features. If you are using constructor, you can explain all those. And then we can go with the what is a super keyword and this keyword. So what exactly this keyword here means? So this which is pointing to the current reference of type object variable or variable. So if I want to execute my current class instance variable information, so for this only we are using the this keyword here. Okay, if I want to execute one current class instance variable means, so during that time I can use this keyword here. And also this keyword is used to refer the current class instance variable. Okay, this keyword is used to define the current or refer the current class instance variable information. Scope of this keyword is current class. So here the main scope of this keyword is which will refer the current class or current class instance variable. So whenever the formal parameter and data parameter of the class are similar, then JVM will get confusion, right? That is why we are wantedly telling using of this keyword. So you can take this current, or you can refer this particular instance variable in present inside my class. So that is how we can use this keyword there. And also here we can have one more keyword that is called as super keyword. So super keyword also we can call it as a reference variable that is used to refer a parent or present class object, correct? So super keyword means it is a reference variable that is used to refer the present class object, and the scope of super keyword is outside the class. Okay, scope of keyword is outside the class, but this keyword scope is present or to refer the current class instance variable information. That is a task about this keyword. But super keyword means it is a reference variable that is used to refer the present class object, and also the scope of super keyword is outside the class, which means accessing the super class members, that is members or variables and super constructor also. Okay, the scope of super keyword is outside the class, which means accessing the super class members information or members variables or super constructor information also. That is the main scope of super keyword. Okay, so these are all the different questions which are asked during the interview with SLK software, which is for Bangalore location. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. I hope this video will helps you. If you are going to attending for SLK software interview, please go through this video, and please drop a like for this video, and please watch this video till the end, and also please share this video to your friends or colleagues so that they will also learn this type of interview questions, and also YouTube will recommend this video for more people, which really helps our channel to grow a lot in upcoming days also. Okay, and that's all it for now. Thank you so much, guys. We will meet with our next video in shorter time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.